The first time Second LT, Daniel Dix Harrison, saw the aircraft, he froze mid-stride on the hot, shimmering tarmac of Port Moresby. The new fighter sat at the far end of the strip, heat waves turning its long wings into a wavering mirage. It looked wrong to booms, a cockpit pod in the middle, twin engines jutting out like swollen muscles. "What the hell is that thing?" he muttered. The men of the 39th Fighter Squadron burst into laughter. "Behold," someone shouted, "the Flying Fork!" Another pilot cupped his hands around his mouth. Lockheed's Frankenstein. Too heavy to climb, too weird to fly. Dix forced a laugh, but his stomach twisted. He knew P-40s trusted them, fought in them, survived in them. This creature looked like something built by a drunken mechanic with spare parts and a welding torch. Only one man didn't laugh, Madge, Richard Bong, America's rising ace, who stood beside the P-38 with arms folded, staring at it like he was already planning kills. "Mock it all you want," Bong said softly, "but one day you'll beg to fly her." The laughter died instantly. A week later, they were transferred to Dobodura, where the air buzzed with rumors. Japanese reinforcements massing at Rabaul. Tokyo furious at American advances, and a daring new strike incoming. Every night brought more whispers, long-range escorts needed. Bombers too exposed, P-40s too short-legged. Only the strange new lightning could reach that far. Bong was in the air constantly, instructing pilots on the odd beast. Dix watched him go up every dawn, the two Allisons roaring like chained animals finally released. "He's out of his mind," Dix muttered. "Capped." Tommy Vaughn snorted, "Or he knows something we don't. Man's racking up kills like he's collecting stamps." "Yeah, because he's flying that thing." Dix pointed toward the twin-tailed silhouette. "Too big, too heavy, too weird." "I don't trust it," Tommy shrugged. "Maybe you just fear what you don't understand." Dix didn't answer. Couldn't. He feared exactly that. 2 days later, they crowded into the briefing tent. Maps littered every table, and the red circle around Rabaul looked like a warning painted in blood. Madge, Thomas Lynch, stood stiffly at the front. "Gentlemen, tomorrow we hit Rabaul." A murmur rippled through the pilots. "Rabaul, the fortress of the Pacific," Lynch continued. "Fighter cover is critical. The only aircraft with the range is the P-38. You boys wanted a challenge. Here it is." "Then Harrison, you're flying wingman to Major Bong." Dix nearly choked. "Sir, no debate." Lynch's stare was final. Bong simply smiled as if he'd seen it coming. After the briefing, Dix tried and failed to sleep. The jungle hummed, mosquitoes droned, Tommy snored. Dix lay awake, staring at the tent ceiling, imagining Zeros rising by the dozens. Japanese pilots were elite, aggressive, fearless. And tomorrow, he'd face them in a plane he didn't trust. A shadow moved at the entrance. Bong stepped inside. "Couldn't sleep either, huh?" Dix sat up. Trying to, Bong pulled up a crate. "It's normal to be scared before a first run in a new bird." "Are you scared?" Dix asked. Bong surprised him by nodding. "I'm alive because I'm scared. Fear keeps you sharp, but don't let it lie to you. The lightning isn't your enemy, she's your edge." Dix swallowed. Bong stood. "Get some rest. But tomorrow we show Rabaul what this weird plane can do." Dawn rose like molten copper as the P-38s thundered down the strip. Dix felt the twin engines vibrating through his bones. "Lightning lead to all aircraft," Bong's voice echoed in his headphones. "Climb to 24,000. They soared above layered clouds until the sky opened, revealing the vast blue horizon, peaceful, deceptive. Then, far ahead, the coastline of New Britain sharpened. Rabaul emerged. Volcano shadows, smoke columns, the distant glint of airfields bristling with fighters. Anti-aircraft fire bloomed like black thorns. "Bandits." 11 o'clock high, Tommy yelled. The Zeros rose sleek, silver, predatory. 20, then 30 more. Dix felt cold sweat trickle down his spine. Bong stayed calm. "All lightnings, remember, don't turn with them. Use your climb. Use your dive. Fight on your terms." The Zeros pounced. The first shot passed so close, Dix heard the rattle of rounds on his tail. Instinct made him yank the stick until, Bong snapped, "No turns. Let her run." Dix forced himself to obey.
Act.
Bong shoved the throttles forward. The lightning leapt upward with a ferocity Dix never expected. The Zeros tried to follow, stalled, fell back. Now, Bong flipped, inverted, and dove. Dix followed. Wind screamed along the canopy. The P-38 gained terrifying speed, turning the world into streaks of color. Japanese fighters flashed past like startled birds. Bong fired a burst. A Zero disintegrated in fire. Dix lined up another, squeezed the trigger, and watched it spin down trailing smoke. His voice trembled, half laughing, half shocked. Shishi moves like nothing I've ever flown. Don't fall in love yet, Tommy joked. She bites back, and the sky erupted. Zeros everywhere, crossing, diving, circling. A bomber exploded below, flaming debris spiraling. Dix rolled to avoid a burst of tracers. Bong's voice cut through the chaos. Stay high. Dive only when you have advantage. Bong's lightning weaved through enemy fire with impossible precision. 3 Zeros boxed him in. Dix's heart hammered. Major, break. They've got you. But Bong didn't panic. He nosed down into a dive steeper than anything Dix had ever seen. The Zeros followed too late, realizing their mistake. The P-38's weight and twin engines gave it a dive speed the nimble Japanese fighters couldn't T-match. The Zeros wobbled, overshot, lost control. Bong looped back up behind them. 1 burst. 2 kills. A third Zero tried to escape, but the Lightning's deadly speed ran it down like a predator chasing prey. Dix stared in awe. The thing he'd mocked now looked almost alive. A twin-tailed wolf hunting through the sky. He snapped out of it when another Zero latched onto him. Dix doved hard. The lightning screamed downward, metal groaning. The Zero stuck to his tail for a second, then fell behind, unable to keep pace. Dix leveled out, pulled up sharply, and blasted the enemy to pieces. Minutes later, the Japanese attack faltered. The surviving Zeros fled toward Rabaul. Bong's voice came through, steady but winded. All right, boys, head home. The long return flight passed in dazed silence, engines droning like distant thunder. Dix kept staring at the twin tails gleaming in the morning sun. Still stunned that the aircraft he'd insulted now felt like the only thing standing between him and death. When they landed at Dobodura, ground crews rushed out cheering. Bong climbed out, face dripping sweat and streaked with grime. How many did you get, Major? A mechanic asked eagerly. Bong shrugged. 3, maybe 4. Dix approached him, throat tight. Major, I owe you an apology. Bong raised an eyebrow. For what? For mocking her, for doubting her. The lightning saved my skin today. He touched the cool metal of the twin tail. And so did you. Bong gave a small, warm smile. I told you she had fangs. That night, under dim bulbs strung across the mess tent, the pilots recounted every moment. Dives, climbs, kills, close calls. The twin-tailed monster they once joked about was now a legend. Dix sat back, letting their voices fade into the background hum. Something had changed today. Not just in the war, not just in the squadron, but inside him. He had seen the lightning unleashed, seen Bong bend it to his will, seen Rabaul fortress of the Japanese Empire forced to look skyward in fear. And he knew one thing with complete certainty: no one would ever laugh at the P-38's twin tail again. Because the world had finally seen what it could do. And the skies over the Pacific would never be the same.